Goldie and Charlie are here now, and Daddy just put this tape in. We mailed our other one to you this morning, along with the card. So hopefully you will get everything within the next 7, 8, 9 days. I think that's what they told us anyway. 7 working days. Goldie's going to say a few words to you reluctantly. She never knows what to say, she says. And Charlie, he says he doesn't know. And Grandpa said, well, when Goldie gets started, she doesn't know when to stop. So we're all sitting out here on the porch having a drink and thinking of you all. Now here's Goldie. She's ready to talk. Oh, yeah. It's on, Goldie.
Hi, Carol and Mike and Sheila. We're sitting out here on the porch. I know you know and how it's situated. We're looking... Oh, Mike and Carol haven't been here? Anyhow, we're looking right out at all the boats out there fishing, and the pier is loaded with people fishing. Apparently, they're catching something, or they all wouldn't be out there. And a lot of people are walking by on the beach, and we're having a vodka and tonic. Your mother fixed us a vodka and tonic, and it's warm. It's a beautiful day, just gorgeous. And, oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Harold and Sarah, you know, they're down here. Did you tell her that? Mm-hmm. And Linda and her husband and 3 kids are flying in today for 1 day only. And they couldn't get in at Tampa, so they're coming to Sarasota, and they're renting a car with these 3 little kids. The baby's 7 months old. And then they're going to come up here. I think they're staying at Holiday Inn. I'm not sure.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought they were staying there.
No, I think they're staying at... And then they're going back tomorrow. Boy, that's youth for you. Wait a minute, Charlie wants to say something.
Right there it is, Charlie. Right there's the speaker. Just start talking.
Well, good evening. How's everybody over there? And I'm sitting out here in the hot sun, and Jack's fixing some pork steaks for us here, and he said he can't wait to get over there to Australia, eat some of that mutton and that kangaroo meat and see how that tastes barbecued. And I am speaking into it, but I don't know what to say after I speak into it, so... Well, here, I'll let Bernice talk to you.
Well, it's not my turn, since we're taking turns here.
Yeah, it's Jack.
But anyway, there's not a whole lot to say.
Oh, really, it's kind of boring when you don't have anything interesting.
I guess you heard Goldie say that. I don't think you're ever bored with our conversations, are you, Carol?
I know.
I can just hear you now saying, no, we're not, Mother. I can almost hear you say that. Well, that makes it nice. I don't know what else to tell you, but there are a lot of fishing boats out here again today. Well, it's now 2:45 our time. So, and it is hot. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but it's probably about 80, I would say. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I'll let Goldie tell you what Daddy said. Daddy's sitting over on the other side of me.
He said there are a lot of people stooping over, and we're looking at the rear end of it.
You know what I'm going to do to Charlie? I want to play this back and let him hear how he sounds on this tape. They left me here by myself this afternoon, and I was sitting here in the sun. And then they barged in on me now all of a sudden. But it sure is a beautiful day. I would imagine that it's in the upper 70s at least. It's just gorgeous. There's a slight breeze, and it just is absolutely what we come down to Florida for. So I'm going to cut it off now. I mean, I didn't mean for him to get silly with you, but I wanted to play this back for Charlie, but I think he took off. Must have had to go to the bathroom or something and didn't want to go here. So we'll continue this a little bit later. And we'll talk to you. You got it.
Hello, Carol, Mike, and everybody down there. This is a continuation of what you heard 5 minutes ago on this tape. The afternoon lingered on, as Jack said, somebody had to go to the pot or had to leave here for some reason. So they called us around dinner time and asked us to come down for an after-dinner drink, which we are sitting here and enjoying and listening to some of your previous tapes, which were very enjoyable. We think that you've got the world by the tail down there, and we hope you enjoy every minute of it. Florida is, as per usual, we're enjoying every moment of it. Mother's getting like a nigger. I won't let her get on Mardell Avenue when she gets in St. Louis because we don't allow any niggers in South St. Louis. But anyway, this goes on every year, and everything up at our condo is relatively the same, and we're all having a ball, meeting one another, having card parties, and going here and going there. Your dad won about $150 at High Lie last night. He said he didn't win a penny, but I think he's a liar. But anyway, we didn't go because I don't like High Lie, and but we're getting the end results from everybody, see who bet what and when and how they won, what money they won. But as the saying goes, we sit around and watch the pretty girls go up and down the beach. And, of course, Papa Jack, I think he can't leave his binoculars alone. He's got them on his face almost most of the time. He's sitting here looking out. But I can't blame him for doing that. I'd do the same thing. So I'd like to say good luck to both of you. And, Sheila, you have a good time down there, and be careful of your driving. And I know that you'll have your own car before you know it. Good luck to you, and God bless you all. Here's Ruth. Ruth, say something.
You running?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're still running, Carol.
Okay, Carol and Mike, you know, I had a birthday down here, and I was 75 years old, and it was the most beautiful birthday you can imagine. And a friend of mine gave me a bottle of champagne with this cute little poem on it. What is it?
I don't know how it goes, Ruth.
Ruth and John went up the hill to smoke a little leaf. John got high, unzipped his fly, and Ruth said, "Where's the beef?" Good night, doll. We love you.
Hi, Mike, Carol, Sheila. We just walked over. I brought my grandson over here, Christopher, that everyone says looks like me, so I'm going to take credit for it. And we've also got the two other boys here, but they're not over here yet. It's another beautiful day, Sunday. We just finished having pancakes over at our house, and like they said, Linda and Chuck and the three boys came in yesterday afternoon, didn't arrive until about 4 o'clock. Had a lot of trouble getting their car and everything out of Sarasota. But they're enjoying it, and we were kind of surprised. They said they were going to be down here for 1 day, and now we find out they're going to be here for 2 days. Well, I'll be glad when this day is over. They're going back tomorrow. You know, your mother said shame on me. And that's right, shame on me. But I'm missing out on some good golf days. The weather again is just absolutely beautiful, and I don't suppose that we've gotten accustomed to this beautiful weather yet, but I can say this, I think I could enjoy being down here in January and February, and I'm going to try to talk to the man about getting a place down here for the next year for a couple of months anyway. Your mother and Dad and Charlie and Goldie have just been the greatest hosts in the world whenever we've been around them, and they took us to a highlight game a couple of nights ago, and, well, maybe your dad didn't win any money, but he told me how to do it. The first game I won $25.20, and I thought, boy, this is sure easy. I'm going to listen to what your dad says every time. Well, that was the end of my winnings. From there on, it was all downhill. Well, I thought I was going to lose $60, and I only lost $35, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Enjoyed it, and I hope we get to see you a lot when you get back, and we don't live that far apart. And seems like the last few years we haven't seen much of you, but I hope that changes. And I hope that you and Sheila and Mike are enjoying yourselves over there, and not many people have that opportunity, so take advantage of it. We love you, and we'll be talking to you later. Thank you.
Okay, you're on. Talk. Say hi, Mike and Carol.
Hi, Mike and Carol.
Who am I? Say, I'm David.
I'm David
She doesn't know.
Anderson, and everything, and I'm so bent up,
And there.
I'm 5 years old.
and I'm 5 years old.
And tell them what's your mother's name, because they know your mother.
My mother's name is Linda.
My mother's name is Linda,
Daddy's name?
Chuck,
Okay.
and everything.
And you have what, 2 brothers? Tell them. Their names?
Yes, Christopher and Daniel.
Well, go ahead and tell them.
Hi there, Christopher and Daniel.
Okay. Okay, they're through talking now. I'm going to play it back and let them hear what they said, Carol, okay? The mic is right there.
Hi, Carol. This is Linda. I thought I'd better at least say hi to you after you've been talking to, or after my little boy's been talking to you. You wouldn't believe how big they are. I've got one is a 5-year-old that looks like he's about 10, and the other one that was trying to talk is going to be 3 in 2 weeks. Well, I don't want to use up a lot of your dad's tape, but I wanted to say hi to you because I hear they're coming to see you. We were talking a little bit about their trip, and them wanting you to get all the arrangements made for them so that they know where they're supposed to go once they get over there to see you. I hear it's a really neat place to be from the people I've worked with. And I hope you're getting a little bit more used to driving on the opposite side of the road and all the little different things about that place. I'm looking out the window, and your parents have just the most beautiful place here. And I really don't know too much. This is kind of different talking over on a tape. So I'll say goodbye, but I was really wanting to say hi to you. Just a second, I want my husband to say hi to you.
Yeah. Hello, this is Chuck Anderson, Linda's husband.
Carol, could you imagine a grown-up man not saying any more than that? Maybe he doesn't know who he's talking to. Did you ever meet him, Chuck?
I don't think she did. I don't think they've ever...
Well, anyway, you know your father was bashful when I first got this tape. But, some people get stage fright when they're doing it. But anyway, it's nice for him to say hello. And he's got these 3 kids here, and he's got one of them on his lap all the time. Seems like a good father. I asked him today if they were wearing him out. He said no. So anyway, I'm going to cut this one off for now. Linda wanted to say hello, and I'm glad she got to talk to you. And she hasn't changed a bit, except she's getting taller and older. And not heavier, no, not really. So we'll pick this up a little later.
Good evening, kids. It's now Monday, February the 3rd, and we've just finished dinner. We had an excellent dinner. We had cube steaks, and Daddy made drop biscuits, which were delicious, and milk gravy, and fresh asparagus with milk and butter, like I always fix it. We're sitting here now waiting for Harold and Sarah. They're going to come over and play some cards with us tonight. We played cards last night with the Gateses. They came down, and Daddy won a game, and I won a game. We didn't play cards, Daddy said. We played Rummy Cue. It's similar to Rummy, only you play it with tiles, you know. I'm sure that you kids have played it before. It's a fun game. Anyway, we played cards. We only played 3 games last night. As I said, Daddy won 1, I won 1, and Earl won 1. And we played from 6:45 until 12:30 last night. As you see, we're getting to be regular night owls. We were hoping to get a tape from you today because we haven't heard from you for quite some time now. It's been over a week, and, you know, you got us spoiled. We like to hear from you every week. We've had a lot of people talk on this tape, as you've already found out. Our weather here is absolutely gorgeous. Today it was quite hot again. I'm sure it was up in the 80s. Daddy and I had to go do a little shopping this morning. In fact, we did quite a bit. We went to the grocery store, and we went to a meat market, a new one that we hadn't been to, and the meat was excellent looking, so we bought quite a bit. We had to go to the liquor store. We went to the post office. We left here, I guess, about 10 o'clock this morning, and we got back home here, about 1 o'clock. I'm not sure just when it was, but we had a busy day, and then Daddy went up to the bank, and I went over to Goldie's and sat with her for about an hour. Came back here, and Daddy took care of my bank statement came, and I hate to do the bookwork, so he did that for me. Then he and I sat out here on the porch for about 2 hours and just watched the parade of people going by. As there was a lot today because it was really, really warm. We're not, as I say, we're not going to do a whole lot tonight. Play a little bit. We're going to play Rummikub, I guess, with Harold and Sarah if that's what they want to play. Linda went back today with her family, so I'm sure Sarah's pretty exhausted because those 3 little boys, I'll tell you, they are active. I mean active. I'm not quite used to that, so let's don't have any more for a while, huh? Anyway, I don't know what else to tell you right now. We're still planning on going down to see Otto and Audrey, but at this time we don't know. They have been in the Cayman Islands, and they are back now, but they're having carpeting put in their house, so I can understand. They said they would call us and call Gates in a few days. He's been making all the arrangements, so we'll just wait and see how things work out, and I'm sure it will. Hazel and Darrell left Lake of the Ozarks last Saturday and are due here this following weekend sometime. They're going to spend a week getting down here doing, I don't know what they're going to do, visit other friends or do some shopping or something, I don't know. But anyway, that's beside the point. Aunt Marguerite and Aunt Louise are due in Wednesday about 1 o'clock. So Goldie, she's getting all ready for that big deal, you know. We had a nice letter from Irv and Teresa today. They're down at Tuscaloosa, or whatever you call it, Calahoochee or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway, she didn't say they were going home, but she said that we should be sure and come down there, that they would be there till March the 1st. Well, our understanding was that they were going to be down in Florida as long as we were, but now they may be going over on the East Coast. As you know, she has a house, and she also told us that they had a very nice note from you, Carol, and they appreciated it. So I guess all your letters are getting out. Theirs, of course, had to go to Kansas City and then be forwarded to them, so it took a little bit longer. We heard from Ron yesterday. We talked to him, and he had gotten our junk mail, and the Christmas tape was not in there, so apparently it's been lost in the mail someplace. So I guess we won't worry about it. It's probably all old news by now anyway, so I'm sorry we don't have it, but that's all right. We can live without it. It's now 6:45, and Harold and Sarah are due here any minute, so I guess I better cut this off for right now. And I don't think there's too much left on this tape, so we'll probably finish it up tomorrow sometime and get it. Oh, Daddy said there's a whole other side. I'll have to take a look at that and see. You know, we do a lot of talking and a lot of jabbering with different people, so we don't really know where we stand now. Anyway, I'll let you go for now. We sure love you, and we miss you. And we'll be talking to you tomorrow sometime. Bye-bye. It's me again. I just took the tape out, and of course your father was right as usual. We're on side 1. It's a new tape we put in. I'm always wrong. You know that, Carol. I'm never right. So, once again, bye-bye. Hello, family. Today is now February the 5th, and it's exactly noon here. It's a beautiful day, but it's a little bit on the windy side, and the wind is a little bit cool, although the sun is out. We're supposed to have some clouds off and on today, but it won't be bad. The Gulf is very rough today, and it looks real murky. You know that color it gets. So there's probably some rain or some storms out in the Gulf someplace. We didn't do a whole lot. I think I told you that we played cards with Harold and Sarah the other night. Yesterday, Daddy and Harold went out to try and play golf and waited 3.5 hours and could not get a tee off time. So they came on back. It just seems like Daddy said everybody in Florida is on the golf course. And it was a gorgeous day yesterday, too. Wasn't too hot, was just a light southerly breeze and just delightful. I sat out for about 2 hours out here. Yeah, Daddy said it was about 80 yesterday. And then I walked over to Goldie's for a few minutes and walked on over to see Sarah for a few minutes and came back to Goldie's. And I got a book from John that he'd been reading called Texas Rich. He said it's real good, so I don't have anything to read right now, so I'm going to read that. I just started it this morning. I had about 5 pages is all. What else can I tell you? We have a little bit of a problem here this morning. I put some stuff down in the disposal, and it backed up on me, and it backed up into the other side, and called the plumber, and of course they tell you, well, they can't get here right away. Sometime this afternoon they would call, and Daddy, I walked out in the kitchen about an hour later, and both of the sinks were half full of water and garbage and everything else. And it was hot water. And we hadn't been running any water or doing anything. So it has gone down now. So I called them back, and they said, well, they would get here just as soon as they possibly could. It would be sometime today. But they're going to call before they come, so that means that we're kind of stuck here in the condo until somebody shows up. I don't know what kind of a problem that could be, but I haven't been putting anything different in there than I normally put in mine at home or this one here. So the hot water is what threw me. I don't know where that came from. And it was, unless there's a problem upstairs. Sometimes they said when they have a problem, it seeps through, you know, how it goes down. So anyway, that's not your problem. That's our problem, and it'll be solved by this afternoon, I'm sure. What else can I tell you? Don't really know a whole lot of anything else. Oh, yeah, Aunt Marguerite and Aunt Louise are coming in today. Charlie and Goldie have gone over to pick them up. Harold and Sarah didn't want to go, so they didn't go. I guess Harold wanted to get out on the golf course. That's all he really thinks about. And Sarah, she's kind of a loner. She likes to do her own thing and be by herself, so even when she goes for a walk, she says, I'm going for a walk. She never says, would you like to walk along or anything, so we don't bother too much. What else? Let's see. They're doing, I think, Aunt Louise and Aunt Margaret are doing about 1 o'clock today, if the plane is on time. So Goldie's having them for supper tonight, and I think she's going to have Sarah and Harold, and Sarah said, well, she said, I know my mother would rather go out, so I don't know. It kind of hurt Goldie's feelings a little bit, I think. But anyway, Goldie was afraid our feelings would get hurt that she didn't invite us. I said, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. You know, every time we do something, we don't always have to do it together. It's fun once in a while to go out with a group, but, you know, you just can't have everybody every time. And John and Ruth have a habit of getting their feelings hurt very easily, so we have to be a little bit careful. That's one reason it's real good for us to be over here, because they don't know when we go out and who we see and what we do. We're tentatively, I think, going up to Gates's on Sunday for a brunch. Hazel and Daryl are due in, and Nell said she was going to have a brunch for them, and she thinks it's going to be Sunday, but nothing's been said yet because Hazel and Daryl aren't even here yet. I think Goldie told me they're probably going to show up about Saturday. I don't know where they're staying. I have no idea. I guess they'll work that out. Goldie's invited them to stay with them, and when we were home at Christmas time, when they were at the Christmas party, why, they said they didn't know where they were going to stay, and Daddy said, well, if you need a place for a day or so, why, just holler. We got a bedroom, so I don't know. And Gates, of course, they've got 2 extra bedrooms. I'm assuming they're going to stay with Gates, but that's just my idea. Anyway, I don't know anything else to talk about right now. We haven't really done anything other than what I just told you, and looks like today is going to be something else. We had hot-boiled shrimp for dinner last night. Daddy fixed it here, and oh, it was delicious. had some new product out. I don't remember whose brand it is, but it's rice with chopped broccoli, Daddy's favorite. But it was good. It had a cheese-based sauce on it. I thought it was delicious. We have plenty of shrimp left, so we'll probably have us a little shrimp cocktail. We're going to have some fillets tonight. We got some over at the meat market the other day, and they look real good. So we're going to have a baked potato and a little shrimp cocktail. And I don't know, with the shrimp cocktail, probably won't make a salad, but whatever. We still haven't heard any more from you. I keep thinking every day, well, we're going to get a tape, but nothing yet. So I guess you've been busy, or else the mail's being held up someplace. I'll get back to you later today or this evening maybe, as I don't know another thing right now. Love to all of you, and keep well. Bye-bye.
Good morning to you all. I just walked out on the porch. The surf is making a little bit of noise, and I was hoping maybe you could pick up the sound of that. Of course, you can probably hear it from your house, so I'm not telling you anything new. This tape hasn't got too much left on it, so I thought I'd just talk into it a little while until it runs out, and then I'll turn it over and we get the other side filled up and get it in the mail. Your mother looks every day for one from you, but we haven't gotten one for, 10 days, I guess. So that isn't too bad. I think sending us a half hour on each side every 10 days is pretty good. But anyway, it's kind of bad. We had to stay in the house yesterday and wait for the plumber, and he finally got there about 3 o'clock. And it was something upstairs in one of the other apartments. And they had to run a router down through the drains and open them up. And so we're back in shape again. It wasn't the expense of our owner, it was a building expense. About that time, Sarah and Aunt Margaret came in, and everything happened at once. Margaret and Louise got in about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And Clarence had given Margaret some mail to give it to Bernice rather than mail it. White Castle's changed over now. Instead of sending the check to your mother, they're sending it back to Bertha, the last two. So Schulthouse was supposed to take care of it, but evidently he didn't. So we'll have to send that check up to him, and they can send us a check out of that account, I guess. I don't know what you're going to do, but anyway, I don't know why White Castle did it, but that's what they're doing. Other than that, Darrell and Hazel got in Tuesday night, and we haven't seen them yet. They're staying south of us a few doors, a place right next to that long fishing pier called the Angler's Cove. It's a tall building, something like this one, I guess, and they've got a place up on the 5th floor up there. So, but we haven't seen them yet. They came down here, got in Tuesday. They weren't supposed to get in until this coming Saturday. She went to South Carolina or someplace on their way down to visit that evangelist. I don't know whether it was Oral Roberts or Baker or one of those guys. But they didn't stay over there very long, so maybe she didn't get a visit with him. I don't know. She gets hooked up on that kind of stuff. Darrell has to go along with it, I guess. And they got their $50,000 check, as usual, in January, so she probably had to go over and give him half of it or something. But anyway, that isn't any of my business. And I guess it isn't very interesting to you either, but I just was making conversation, and it is kind of something that I wouldn't do. But everybody to his own. Played it a little bit back, and sure enough, you can hear this surf in the recording. It really is loud. It isn't storming up here or anything. The waves are just, they were high all day yesterday, and it's a little windy, and I guess that has a lot to do with how high they are.
Television showed it to be about a 5-foot chop, so that's pretty good for the Gulf of Mexico. I don't think it got onto the last bit of that tape that this is Thursday, February 6th. So when you get this now, you'll know that that noise in the background is the surf. So that's kind of good to have that happen. The Gulf is a little bit murky. It's not blue like it usually is, or green either. It's kind of sandy colored. So I guess that's due to the winds and the surf coming out on the sand and then sucking it back in. I guess that's the way it is. But the tractor's been up and down the beach this morning and cleaned it all off, and it's real nice out there. So I'm going to quit talking now because I don't have anything to say that you haven't heard. Your mother does pretty good at telling you almost everything, and it leaves me nothing to say. So I'm going to rest a while, and maybe your mother will get back to this some more of the day. Last night for supper, I got some filet mignons up here at a meat market, wrapped in bacon. And I put them out here on a little this little gas charcoal grill, and we had a baked potato, and they were excellent. And we had a shrimp cocktail. We had boiled hot shrimp for dinner the night before, so we had about half of them left, so I fixed us each a shrimp cocktail with a baked potato and filet mignon last night, so that's pretty good eating. I kind of think I like those fillets better than I do ribeyes. Seems like they're not as, well, I know they're not fat because they don't have any fat in them at all, but they're just as tender or more tender than ribeyes, and they have no fat. So anyway, I guess it takes a change once in a while to keep your palate in shape so that you don't get in a rut and eat the same thing all the time. But I don't remember seeing fillets in St. Louis already made up in the shops except at Triple H, and for some reason I never did think they were first class. Maybe they are, but these down here surely are tender. So anyway, tonight I don't know that we're having anything. We might even go out and get some grouper or something. We haven't had fish now other than those shrimp. And, so we may, it's Thursday night. I would rather go out on a Thursday than I would on a Friday or Saturday because of the people, the amount of people. Just like trying to eat on the golf course, I think. Everybody's on the golf course in the daytime and in the restaurants at night. So the economy is up here, I'm sure. So I am going to knock it off now, and I'll talk to you a little later. Bye-bye.
Hello, Carol. It's me. Same day. Daddy said he talked to you this morning. He took the tape out on the porch, and I had the door closed because it was a little bit chilly in here. I didn't mean to say just Carol. I meant Mike and Sheila also. Habit, I think I'm picking up the phone and say, good morning, Carol, that type of thing. One-track mind. We just walked over to visit with Aunt Louise and Aunt Marguerite for a few minutes. Aunt Marguerite came over yesterday afternoon, she and Sarah, but I had not seen Aunt Louise. I had a little bit of touch of the stomach flu yesterday and kind of laid around most of the day, but today I'm just fine. I played heck with that Pepto-Bismol, though, yesterday. I took it about every hour most of the day. And all I have now is a little sore stomach, but I'm all right. There's a lot of that going around down here, I understand. Anyway, we're waiting now for Sarah to call us. She walked up to the beauty shop, and it's not far, but it's quite a little distance, and we've got our cleaning up there, and I said, well, she had said, well, maybe we would come pick her up. I said, well, you call us when you're through at the beauty shop, and we'll come on up and get our cleaning and make it all in one trip. So that's going to work out just fine. She said probably 1 o'clock, and it's now 10 minutes to 1. So we just went up to the mail, but the mail hasn't been here as yet. We keep hoping that we're going to get a tape from you. It's been, gosh, almost a week and a half or 2 weeks since we've heard one from you. Daddy said I shouldn't complain, but I got to bitch a little bit. Anyway, it's clouded up here now, and they're predicting rain for tomorrow. So I guess we're not going to see much sunshine the rest of the afternoon. It's looking out over the Gulf here. It's real hazy, and our screens are just covered with water. I guess that's from the humidity because it hasn't been raining at all. We did a few little other chores this morning. Had some bank deposits to make and some stuff to send to Wayne and some stuff to send to Soulhouse again. That seems to be a weekly procedure with us. Eventually we'll get this straightened out, I hope. We're going to plan on going out to dinner, I think, this evening. We don't really know, but as Daddy said, he told you that it's better to go on Thursday night. It's beginning to get a little bit more crowded down here now, and as the season gets into it farther, why, we'll have more and more people around. Our place here is getting a few more people, some small children and that type of thing, a few babies, but that's fine. They don't bother us a bit. There isn't anybody sitting out at the pool right now. As I say, it's a little bit cool. So hopefully by Saturday, the weekend, we'll be able to get out and get some more sun. I'm not getting real brown as yet, but I have got a little bit of a start. I'm about as brown as Goldie is, and she's been here a long time. I guess that's all for now. I'll cut it off, and hopefully we'll finish this tape up by the weekend and get it in the mail to you. We are going up to Gates's on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock for a brunch. She called this morning, and I think she's having the whole crew. It's in honor of Hazel and Daryl, I think. I don't know why, but it is. Anyway, that's about all for now. I love you, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Well, I'm back again. I got good news and bad news. The good news is that we got a tape from you. The bad news is when we went to play it, it came off the spool. Now, I don't know what the reason was, but I don't remember how it was when I put it in there, but it appears to me that side 1 and side 2 were even marked wrong, or maybe you played it back all the way and didn't. Well, we don't really know what happened, but anyway, we didn't even get to hear you. So I've called a place that repairs tape recorders, and they don't do that, but the man said that the man that repairs their tape recorders knows a man that does splicing and that kind of stuff. So he wasn't in right then, so they're going to call me back in a little while and give me the man's number so I can call him. Because I wouldn't want to take it apart and attempt it because I wouldn't know what I was doing. So your mother and I both crabbed at you on this tape that you weren't sending enough tapes, so I told her when she hung up the recorder that she shouldn't do that. And we did get one today, the one that was marked January the 18th to the 29th. And so that's the one that we did receive. So I will keep you informed on what happens when we get this one repaired so that we can listen to it. When I turned it on, it sounded like you guys were talking backwards. And I couldn't figure that out. And the volume wasn't loud at all. So I turned the volume up, and it sounded like jibber-jabbers, you know, like somebody talking Pig Latin or backwards. Both you and Mike said something, and then poof, went off. Took it out and looked at it, and there wasn't any tape on it was wound up. So I really don't know what happened. So that's about all I'll say until I get back to you and tell you what progress we have made. So you better get another tape in the mail or your mother's not going to be happy. She's looking. She thinks we did it, and I don't know whether we did it or not. I mean, I don't see why it should have jumped off the end like that. And why it was talking backwards, I don't know. So anyway, that's all I have to say for this time. Goodbye. Well, it's me again. A man told me that I should do it myself. It would cost me too much money. He asked me if there was anything important on it. I said, I don't know. But I said, I don't think it's so important that if it was that important, I'd have gotten a call from you. So he said, well, why don't you try it yourself? And we took it apart. And would you believe one of the screws wouldn't come out? All four of them came out, and the fifth one we couldn't get out. But finally we got it loose. A little piece of the plastic broke loose, and it came out. And when we got it out, the tape was not, it was broken, but it looked, Mike, like it had been pulled. In other words, it wasn't wide like the rest of it. It was all real, like it's twisted and pulled. So there must have been some pressure on it someplace along the line. So we glued it and put it back, and when we put it in the recorder, you talked about a Foster highway or something. It sounded like you were starting in the middle. And about that time it quit, and I shut it off, and the tape did not break, but instead of winding onto its own spool, it was wound up inside of our recorder. So it's kind of baffling what happened. Now we're going to lose about 6 inches of it, but we're going to, or maybe a foot, and we're going to try to start it over again. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, I'm back to you now. We taped it back together, and we played it all the way through, on both sides. And we enjoyed it. Thought your trip was a lot of fun. We played it on both sides, and after it was through, I thought, well, I'm going to put it back in on side one now and play the first part, because we thought we had lost that. As soon as I put it on side one and turned the recorder on, the tape broke. So tomorrow we're going to take it apart and see what's inside. We don't know what to expect. I know most of it is all on one side, and that all we'll have to do is to tape it back to the spool. But for your information, the type of cement that we're using is the type that you put fake fingernails on with. It dries very quickly. Doesn't take but a few minutes, and it's dry. So if that'll be of any help to you in the future, I hope you never have one break. But this one was either a bad tape or a bad cassette. There was a wrinkle in the underneath the shield of the cassette that we think looks like it had pressure on the spool. But whatever happened, it just stretched that sucker out like a noodle. Rather than being flat tape, it was round, like you'd, I don't know, tie a string, and like a piece of string. But anyway, we'll see what we can do and see if we can get it so we can play the whole thing. We didn't miss very much. First part of the tape, you talked something about a Foster highway, but we didn't hear the first of it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We're going across the street tonight to the Red Cavalier, and I'll probably eat Danish lobster tails, Carol. That's what you said, that you couldn't remember what they were. Here, 6 of them, I believe there is on an order, is $7.95. Now, I may eat grouper too. I like grouper once in a while. The last grouper we had was on the way back from Woody and Lenore's, we stopped at a place, and it was a very nice place, and they told us that the grouper was the thin type, which we like better, and it turned out to be the thick type, which we don't like when it's half inch or better thick. We like it, well, maybe not a quarter, but 3/8. But anyway, we'll let you know about that too. So we'll knock this off now, and we're going to go eat in a little bit, and everybody else around us has already eaten, and we seem to like that better, just to go by ourselves than to go with a whole bunch and have to be programmed to what we're doing. So we'll talk to you a little later. Bye-bye.
It's now me. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, just a few minutes after Daddy had spoken to you. We sure did enjoy your tape, and I'm so sorry it got so screwed up. I was really upset about it. But maybe it was our own fault. We don't really know, you know. We don't pay that much attention, I don't think, when we put that tape in, and we probably should. We've had a very cloudy, cool day here today, and I didn't think we were going to have any sunset at all, but man, it looks like it's going to set beautifully. It's just as round and yellow as a coin of gold. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have some very good news today that I haven't told you about. I got my first Social Security check, $344, and I'm going to go out and blow it. I don't know what on, but I'm going to go blow it. That's the one that is not going in the bank. The rest will probably go in the bank. But this one, I'm going to spend. And I don't know on what, but something. Just whatever comes to my mind. Harold and Sarah were just here a few minutes ago. They needed an alarm clock, and I had my little travel clock with me. Harold gets up the break of dawn to go out and play golf. So Sarah said she has trouble getting up, so they got my little clock, and they had to hurry on over to their place because Aunt Marguerite and Aunt Louise were standing over there waiting for them to play pinochle with them. Harold said as soon as his mother got upset and mad, he was going to quit, so who knows? I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, as Daddy said, we're going across the street to the Red Cavalier and have us a little dinner. Come back, and I'm sure we won't stay up too late. You said you were amazed that we slept so late in the morning. Well, it certainly is nice, I'll tell you. We had about 3 or 4 nights where we were up till 12 or 12:30, and good Lord, I didn't know if I was going to make it or not through, but we did. And I don't know, we've just gotten in the habit now of sleeping till 7:30, 7:45, and it sure is nice not to have to get up and worry about anything. So that's what we do. I don't think anybody stirs around here. You never see anybody out at the pool much before 11 o'clock, so nobody stirs around here very early in the mornings. I'm glad to know that you all are having such a good time and doing a lot of good stuff over there. It sounds like you really are having fun, and I'm glad. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I certainly did hate to see you go, and I'm not happy you're there, but I'm glad you're having fun, and I know that this will be over before too long. Mike will have to go back to the old grind, which won't be fun driving that 270, I know. I know by this time you already know that Ron and Kathy have moved, because I told you that on the last tape. Sarah told us today that Kathy Zimmerman and her husband Jack are coming down, I think the 14th or 15th of this month, for a week, not bringing their children. And Michael Zimmerman is coming down the 20th of this month. And of course he's not married, so Sarah and Harold are going to have plenty of company. Harold won't like that because it may interfere with his golf, but he'll just have to put up with that, I guess. We, too, have a long tape this time. I don't know if this is a 60-minute or a 90. Daddy said it's a 60-minute. So ours isn't as long as yours. Those 90 minutes, I agree with you. They're They are way too long. I'm curious to know if Sheila has met any young men over there. She's never mentioned any. She talks about going out to play bowling and to the movies and all this stuff, but she never talks about going out with any young men. Maybe there aren't any available in your area, and maybe there are. I guess that will come. Does she want me to send her some Alarest? If so, give me a holler, and I'll stick some in the little envelope. And Carol, if you need any minute rice, I can open up a box and put some in one of those freezer-locked packages and stick some of that in one of my packages. Tell me what you need, because I don't really know anymore what you want. I don't know if you're getting, like Mike said, you're getting plenty of grape jelly. So if you're being overstocked with the salad dressings, why, just give me a holler and I won't send any for a little bit. I guess I'm going to have to cut this off now. It's almost 7 minutes after 6, and we have a 6:15 reservation across the street, so we better get going, because as Daddy said, that last 5 minutes always takes me the longest. I'll talk to you later, dears. Bye-bye.
I just had to add this, that your mother's Social Security check is $344. And between the two of us, we have $987. So do you think maybe we can get along?
That's fine.
She said that's all hers. Can't you hear her saying that, Carol? Anyway, I just thought I'd add that little bit of tidbit to the conversation. So we got to go now. We got to go across the street in 8 minutes, so we might not make it. Bye-bye.
Good morning, family. Today is Friday, February the 7th, and it's 11:15 in the morning. Very cloudy day here in Florida, but very warm. Quite a few people out walking on the beach. Needless to say, our tape broke again, the one that you just sent us, so I worked on it most of the morning and got it glued back together, and we're not going to play it anymore, so I don't remember exactly everything you said on that tape, but I do know you said the roast sounded good, so I'm going to give you this recipe. It's called the Perfect Rib Roast. It's a ribeye, and it has to be 4 pounds or more, and it should be at room temperature. That's very important. Turn your oven to 375. Heat it up. Bake in a roaster pan on a rack 1 1/4 hours, uncovered, with the fat side up. Turn your oven off, but do not open the door. You can do it in the morning and just leave it after an hour and a quarter. But don't open the door. And then 45 minutes before you're ready to serve, take it out and add your salt and pepper, and turn your oven to 300. And that's all there is to it. It's really, really quite simple, and as Daddy says, you can use almost any kind of roast you want. But it should have a little fat on it, because you want the fat side up so that it drips down onto the meat. But it has never failed us yet. This time, this oven down here is a little bit hotter than mine is at home, so I will have to adjust it the next time I fix it. We went out to dinner last night. Yeah, it got you done. You realize that, I'm sure. We went over to the Red Cavalier, and we both ate the Danish lobster tails, and they were really real good. And we stopped by Harold and Sarah's, and Aunt Marguerite and Aunt Louise were there. They were supposed to be playing pinochle, but they didn't even get through with one game because Aunt Marguerite got mad and they quit. You know, her and her card playing. So I don't know if Aunt Marguerite quit or Harold quit, but somebody quit. Anyway, they were just sitting there watching television. I think they were kind of glad we came in and broke up the monotony of the thing. So that's really all for now. We're going to have gizzards and noodles kind of stewed tonight, and I got some fresh asparagus. And it's really, really tender because we had some the other night. I guess that's all for now. We're not really going to do anything today. Tomorrow I go to the beauty shop again. I've been going every week. It's the one luxury I allow myself. Ha ha ha. We could go over to the mall this afternoon, but we really don't have anything to buy. I do want to get myself some sort of a, not really a blazer, but one of the loose-fitting jackets, the boxy style that are in right now. I saw one over there, but I didn't take the time to try it on. I'll either do that or I'm going to get myself a new suit. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, Daddy said I'm going to use my Social Security check, which I probably will. He's sitting here laughing at me. He thinks that's a big joke. And I'm so proud of that check. But it's all mine. That's the important thing. Well, I'll let you go for this morning now, and we'll probably get this finished up this afternoon or this evening, because we'll mail it tomorrow when we go down to the post office. We don't make too many unnecessary trips. I don't know why, but it's, why, you know, I don't know. We do enough running around, it seems. I can't seem to think of anything that you asked me about, but be sure and tell me if you need anything. I'll stick it in the packages, and we'll be glad to get your Vegemade and give it a try. Your friend that was over there had told us about that stuff, and she said she didn't like it. Of course, like you say, maybe she used it too heavily and didn't add, you said to add some butter, I think, to it. So we'll give it a try if you send us some. Let us know what you need, and I'll get it in the mail to you as quickly as I can. Other than that, talk to you later today. Bye-bye.
Hello, you guys. You got me this time. It is Saturday morning, and it has been thunderstorming and raining all night, but the sun broke out a few minutes ago. It's not raining right now, but looks like it could start over. Your mother just left for the beauty shop, so she told me to finish this up while she was gone, and then we would get it in the mail after this afternoon. So if it stops abruptly, you'll know what happened, because I really don't have anything. We stayed home last night. We didn't go anyplace. Yesterday afternoon, about 3 o'clock, Darrell and Hazel stopped by. They're, I told you, down the road here at Angler's Cove. That's another resort. And we hadn't seen them. They'd gotten down here Tuesday, but they'd been running around. So anyway, that was uneventful, but they did get here to say hello, and they know where we are now. Tomorrow we're going to the Gateses for a brunch at 11 o'clock to welcome Darrell and Hazel to Florida. Now, how does that grab you? And I'm sure that John and Ruth and Goldie and Charlie are invited, as well as us. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. That's Sunday. So right now, it's kind of warm here this morning. It had been raining all night, but it's warm. Saturday morning, there's only about 10 fishing boats out here fishing, and the pier isn't even half full of fishermen for a Saturday. Usually it's pretty well loaded. People come out fishing on Saturday that have to work during the week, so that makes a little bit of sense. Our manager here, he's an optimist. He's got all the umbrellas out and everything ready. But it doesn't look like anybody's going to be sitting under an umbrella. The sun's gone now. The beach is sure pretty here, though. We still wish that we'd have heard all of your tape. I'm sure we got 90% of it, or in that area, but we didn't get the first part of it. When Mike started on Foster Road, well, that's where ours started. And now that we've got it glued back together, we didn't try to run it again. We did hear all of it that's available, so I thought we'd better let